Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Our chapter is Physical Quantities and Measurement. First chapter of Physics. SLOs are 1.6.1 Identify the measuring instrument. 1.6.2 Describe the working of measuring instrument. 1.6.3 Determine the least count of measuring instruments. Today we are going to learn about measuring cylinder. Measuring cylinder is one of the instruments which is included in your syllabus. Here you can see different measuring cylinder. You can see they are different in size. Their capacity is different. It can contain the liquid up about 50 milliliter, but it can contain the liquid uh, about 500 ml. Measuring cylinder. A measuring cylinder is glass or transparent plastic cylinder. It means that the measuring cylinder is made up of a glass or transparent plastic cylinder. It has a scale along its length that indicates the volume in millimeter. Here you can see that it has a vertical scale along its length with the help of which you can take the reading. Measuring cylinders are of different capacities from 100 ml to 2500 ml, as you have seen before. Purpose of the measuring cylinder. That what is the purpose of the measuring cylinder? The measuring cylinder is used to accurately measure the volume of a liquid. We use the measuring cylinder to measure the volume of a liquid, or the volume of a powdery substance, or the volume of an irregular shaped solid which is insoluble in liquid. And with the help of displacement method, we can measure the volume of irregular shaped solid. So it means that the measuring cylinder helps us in taking the volume. With the help of measuring cylinder, we can find out the volume of a liquid, a powdery substance, or the irregular shaped solid which is insoluble in liquid. Now, the correct way to take the reading with the help of measuring cylinder. If you keep your eye at the level of the meniscus, this is the correct way. The correct method to note the level of the liquid in the cylinder is to keep the eye at the same level as the meniscus of the liquid. Okay, you can see if your eye is at the level of the liquid, this is the correct way. But if your eye is above the level, it is the wrong way. And if your eye is below the level of the liquid, then again it is the wrong way. If your eye is above the level, then the reading is slightly raised. And if your eye is below the level, then the reading is slightly low. So both the readings are wrong, but if your eye is at the level of the liquid, then the reading is correct. Now, how to use measuring cylinder? When the eye is above the liquid level, the meniscus appears higher on the scale, as you have seen. But when the eye is below the liquid level, the meniscus appears lower than the actual height of the liquid, and the reading is slightly low. Most of the liquids, all the liquids, they have concave meniscus. You can see the shape of the meniscus, they have concave meniscus, but the mercury is the only liquid which has convex meniscus. Here you can see its shape, its meniscus, that it appears to us that it is convex in shape. So when the meniscus of the liquids, the meniscus of most of the liquids curve downwards. Now look here, the meniscus of most of the liquids, they curve downward. They have a concave meniscus, while the meniscus of the mercury curves upward. Here you can see that the meniscus of the mercury curves upward and it has a convex meniscus. With the help of with the help of the convex meniscus, you can easily differentiate between mercury and other liquids. Now we are going to learn about another measuring instrument, that is a stopwatch. First of all, the stopwatch is called a stopwatch because we can stop that watch. When we want, we can stop that watch, we can start the watch and we can stop the watch. Now, what is the purpose of the watch? The stopwatch is an instrument which is used to measure the time interval of an event. Now there are different types of stopwatch. We are going to discuss those types. The first type is digital stopwatch. Most of the students have this type of watch with them, like a wristwatch. They wear it. So they have a digital stopwatch. And another type is known as the mechanical stopwatch. Here you can see the mechanical stopwatch. Just like the clock, it has again two arms. You can see the longer arm and the shorter arm. But here in the stopwatch, the longer arms is moving, and at the outer circumference we have seconds. Here you can see that at the outer circumference we have seconds, and the longer arm is representing the second. But here we have the shorter arm, and the shorter arm is telling us about the minutes, that how many minutes are passed. When the longer arm covers one complete rotation, the shorter arm moves show one more minute in the watch. So with the this type of watch is called mechanical stopwatch. It has two buttons, as you can see. With the help of one button, we can start the watch, and we can stop the watch with the help of the same button. And we use another button to reset the watch. Right now, mechanical stopwatch and digital stopwatch. What is the difference between the mechanical stopwatch and the digital stopwatch? The mechanical stopwatch, as you have seen, that it has two hands that spins around a dial and point to a location on the dial that represents the approximate time, right? So mechanical stopwatch has two hands or two arms, but the digital stopwatch has a numeric display that indicates the exact time, right? Now we are going to see that what is the least count of mechanical stopwatch. The least count of mechanical stopwatch is 1/10 second or 0.1 second. But the least count of digital stopwatch is 100 second or 0.01 second. It means that the mechanical stopwatch is less accurate, but the digital stopwatch is more accurate, right? So which one is better? The digital stopwatch. Mostly we use the digital stopwatch. It gives us very accurate reading. How to use a digital stopwatch? The digital stopwatch starts to indicate the time lapse as the start and stop button is pressed. As soon as the start button is pressed again, it stops and indicate the time interval recorded by it between the start and stop of an event. It means that we have a button, start and stop button. If we press the start and stop button one time, then the watch start working. But when we press the start and stop button second time, it stops working. And a reset button restores its initial zero setting. In this digital stopwatch, when we press the reset button, just like the mechanical stopwatch, it restores its original zero setting. Now, how to use a mechanical stopwatch? Mechanical stopwatch has a knob that is used to wind the spring that powers the watch. Everything needs power to work. Mechanical stopwatch doesn't have any battery or cell or solar cell. So from where it is getting the power? It gets power by from the spring. So when we wind the spring, it means that we are storing the potential energy in it, and that potential energy gives energy to the stopwatch, mechanical stopwatch. Now, it can also be used as a start, stop, and reset button. The mechanical stopwatch has a no, it means that it has a button. Mechanical stopwatch has a button that we can use it for three purposes: start to start the stopwatch, stop to stop the stopwatch, and reset button to reset the watch. The watch starts when the knob is pressed once. So when we press the knob, it starts. When pressed second time, it stops. When we press the knob second time, it stops, and while the third time, when you press the knob, then it will come back to zero position. So that's how the mechanical stopwatch works. One more time, start, and then I'm going to stop. So what time is it? 4.51 seconds. Reset. चलिए एक दफा और करते हैं, मजा आ रहा है ना. Start. 3. What time? 6.79 seconds are passed. Now I'm going to reset it. So that's how the digital stopwatch works. So what we have learned today, we have learned about the stopwatches and about the measuring cylinder. Allah Hafiz.